We're here for two reasons today. First of all, I want to fish on this beautiful river. I've heard a lot about it, I've never actually fished this section, so we're going to give you a few tips on how I've approached a new venue. But most importantly, I've took delivery of this beauty, the Sphere Zero G PT Plus. Now PT stands for Performance Tuned, and what that means is we've strengthened it up slightly from our original Sphere Zero G F1 Plus. Now, since the Sphere Zero G F1 Plus come on the market about 2 years ago, it's been well regarded and most people consider it the best pole on the market. Now, the only comments we have had that haven't been that positive have been that people were unsure on the strength. Now, for me, I've used my F1 Plus for 2 years, I've never had a problem and it has been plenty strong enough. But for those anglers who want something a bit more durable that they can maybe throw about, the fish venues full of big carp, or even venues like this where they're throwing the pole around, they're striking hard, and it's just taken that little bit more abuse, we've released this. Now, we've strengthened the PT up by around 15%. That's in all the most important sections, the 5, the 6, the 7, where the pole really feels most of the force of striking, pulling fish hard, and all the other abuse it takes. So by doing that, we've obviously added a little bit of weight, but we've actually managed to only keep it to 15 grams added, so it's still a fantastically light, fantastically strong pole. Now, I don't just want you to take my word for how strong this pole is. Where we are today, I think this is the most demanding type of fishing that you can do with a pole. It's only 5 or 6 foot deep. We're fishing light rigs for fast biting roach and dace. But our rig's on a top 5, so there's a lot of spare line there to pick up. You're striking hard, you're putting those shock waves of the strike right through the pole, and it really does need to stand up for it. So while we're doing a bit of filming with it, you'll be able to see just how well the pole takes it, how well it handles, and most importantly, how much it retains its responsiveness and stiffness, allowing me to hit all them bites I'm going to get, and hopefully catch loads of fish. So my approach to start the session today is one I really like. It's a real mixed head of fish in this river. You don't know what you're going to catch next. It could be anything. So I've started off, I've thrown some ground bait in. Now, I'm expecting to get a lot of bites, so I've put a lot of food in that as well. And my ground bait mix has been a mix that I use really regular, to be honest. I actually used it last year on the Riverfest qualifier at Burton Joyce when I qualified. And I used the same mix in the final itself, where I actually managed to finish 4th over the weekend. So it's one I have a lot of faith in. And that mix is Browning Champions Choice number 1 and Browning Black Magic. Now, the Champions Choice number 1 is a little bit of a stickier mix. So as the flow increases, I just simply increase the amount of number 1 that I add to my mix. The Black Magic I've found roach absolutely love. So I always like to put that in there as well. Now, if I wanted a bit more of a cloudy mix, I'd maybe add more Black Magic. And obviously, as I said, if it's flowing and deeper, then I just simply add more number 1. To that, I've added plenty of hemp, I've added plenty of casters, and a few chopped worms as well, which will help load any bonus fish. And then I've tried to just loose feed hemp and casters over the top. So I've started off fishing maggots and casters, I'm running through with light rigs, and to be honest, I'm getting loads of bites. One thing that has become apparent is one rig is much better than the others. And you do find this a lot, and it's something I've noticed a lot over the last couple of years since I've concentrated on rivers a bit more. So today I've set up a light rig, which is a 0.4 of a gram. That's shotted with spread out number 10s and 11s, just simply over the bottom half of the rig. After that, I've got 1.25 grams, which I can put through the peg at a nice pace. I can hold onto it a little bit if I feel the need to. And that's like my all-round rig that I'll probably fish most of the day unless things like mist bites become a problem. And then I've got a 3 gram, which I can really inch through the peg, hold onto it very hard. By switching rigs constantly through the day, you'd be amazed how much difference it makes. You can be getting next to no bites on one rig, or missing bites, bumping fish. Change to another rig, it's like flicking a switch. You're suddenly getting more bites, or you're catching different species or different stamp that you didn't even realise were there. So that's probably my biggest tip on this type of river, is just make sure you cover the options, set lots of rigs up and be able to vary your presentation when you need to. With hemp fishing, the bites are notoriously quick. fishing a very light strung out rig, long line above the float. So there's quite a lot of line to pick up on them fast bites as well. And that's where having a really stiff pole comes in handy. You can follow your float down, you get that quick dip, very fast bite, and you can pick all that line up fast. If you miss it, it's really quick to respond again. You just drop your float back in, start it on its way travelling down the peg again. And hopefully, when it gets to that killing zone where it keeps going under, we'll hook another one. Quite often you hear of people feeding a hemp line separate. They might have the ground bait line at 11 or 13 metres, loose feed some hemp further across and prime it all day. For me today, I've gone down a slightly different route. I've fed my ground bait at 14 metres and then I've loose fed my hemp over the top. It's not a venue I've been to before, so to keep things simple, I've wanted to do it all on the same line. And instead of having to switch between lines, all I do is pick a lighter rig up, my nice strung out rig for hemp fishing, slip a grain on and run it over the same line where I'm loose feeding hemp over my ground bait. If it doesn't go under within 2 or 3 runs through, I can simply put it back down, put a maggot or caster back on and go back to catching everything that swims. I think by doing that, you're maximising the potential of your peg by drawing everything into one area. And on a new venue where you're not really sure if it'll work, it's saving you wasting time doing too many different things. Right, so there we go, another roach on the hemp. Getting bite steady on it now, it's really nice fishing, but as it's a new venue and I don't really know what I'm going to catch, I'm going to have a little change. So I have fed some worms in amongst my ground bait as well. So I'm going to slip a flat float on a piece of worm and see what else is down there. So we've changed over to the flat float now, and to be honest, it's brilliant. Not quite how I expected with really big fish, but we're getting a perch or a little chublet every chuck, basically as soon as the rig settles, which is unbelievable. And if it was a match, those are real weight builders. It just goes to show the advantages of having a sort of a multi-bait approach all on one line. I mean, we've not even seen those fish when we're fishing with casters and maggots and hemp. Slip a worm on, hold it dead still, and it's literally hitting the bottom and going straight under. Hopefully, we can give you the perfect demonstration of that right now. A full worm, I've got reasonably heavy gear on. Obviously there's a lot of small fish, so I didn't want to go too positive. I've got an 014 hook length, a size 14 Sphere Ultra Strong hook, which I think is a nice balance. If I do hook a big fish, and on this stretch of river it could be anything, I could hook a chub, a barbel, a bream. It just really gives me a chance to land anything. I've got that matched to an number 8 Stretch 7 hollow elastic. Again, plenty of power to land anything I hook, but soft enough for any smaller fish. Fishing with flat floats is really an area where the extra strength in the Sphere PT stands out. From our original Sphere F1 Plus, we've strengthened this pole up by around 15%. And when you're striking hard, possibly hooking big fish and you've got big floats on, it's a really huge advantage. The extra strength just gives you all the confidence in the world. You can strike hard, set the hook, pull fish away from snags and anything else you need to do, and it's just not going to let you down. The great thing is we've added this strength, but we've also managed to keep the added weight down to a minimum. We've actually only added 15 grams in weight, which is amazing really when you consider it's added so much strength as well. So once you actually start fishing with the Sphere PT, there's very minimal difference in between this and the original, other than the extra strength. which is obviously a great benefit for various types of fishing and makes it the perfect all-round pole. Right, what an awesome day we've had today. This has been a fantastic piece of river. We've had loads of bites, we've got loads of different species of fish, and most importantly, we've put this beauty back through its paces. It's stood up to everything and it has been fantastic. So I just quickly want to run you through the package that comes with a pole. Now there's absolutely no difference in price or package that comes with either of the Sphere poles. Both poles come with 7 of our multi-kits as spares. Now our multi-kits are actually quite unique. First of all, got a long first section. Now for me, the use of this is sort of two-pronged. You can use it as a short F1 kit, which is very, very popular on commercial fisheries. It's got a strengthened area which you can drill. That allows you to put a short length of elastic through when you're really wanting to land F1s and carp quick. Or, as I've done today, and for most of my silverfish fishing I run my light elastics through that piece. For me, that's just the optimum length of elastic to set hooks in deeper water, to provide enough cushion not to bump fish, and importantly, you can also swing fish in. Now, if you want a full length of elastic through a full top kit, that's where the next section of the kit comes in. You'll always fish with this on, but you can only elasticate the short one if you want, or we can elasticate both pieces, drill it further down or bush it further down, and that leaves you with a full length of elastic through a full top kit when you need that extra stretch. Now also with the Sphere multi-kits, we have this great bush system. We call this the Duo bush. Basically, we've got a standard 4.5mm bush. That'll take all my hollow elastics, my carp elastics. Inside of that, we can slide in the secondary little black bush. That narrows up the bore and is perfect for your light river, canal and natural venue elastics. Alongside these top kits, you get the 7 spares, you get 1 in the pole. After that, we've also got 2 spare number 4s, a spare short 4, and our unique ergonomic pole protectors. Now they're sort of a half extension that fits in the big sections, your 13, 14, 16 metres and onwards. That's got a square flat edge and sits lovely under your elbow, just makes fishing those long lengths effortless. Obviously with a very light pole and a comfy flat surface under your elbow, you can sit there all day with absolutely no problems. So the package with these poles is fantastic. You can go pick one up from your shop, elasticate it, you're probably not going to have to buy any more spares, and that's you out on the bank and ready to go. So if you want to know anything else about this pole, you can look online for the Browning catalogue, or you could go on Browning UK Facebook page, ask any questions you want and we'll be sure to answer them for you.